Nice try.
A deer with loads of history and failed attempts.
You thought that you could fool me.
But this was the year, this was the spot.
Fool me once, fool me twice. It doesn't matter, 'cause I always said things right.
I kind of took last pick and nobody picked my favorite buck. October came, deer sightings were dismal, and an unveiling fall would give way to the November late season. The rut, the great equalizer, proved not to be. The buck sightings were up, but there was still no sign of the old boy. Last day, and it is very cold. And 30 sits after we started, we'd finally earned the encounter we'd been waiting for.
It doesn't matter, 'cause I always said things right.
Stealth Cam presents Canadian Whitetail, brought to you by Ozonics, undetectable, undeniable. New archery products, hunt with confidence. Monster Meal, attraction, nutrition, results. Muddy, serious gear for serious hunters. Excalibur crossbow, different for a reason. Black Eagle arrows, superior carbon technology. Hunter's Specialties, serious hunting tools. Dart and archery for hunters that demand performance. Cold steel knives, anytime, anywhere. Heater bodysuit, #1 in cold weather hunting gear. Raculator, score your trophy fast, easy, and accurate. Central boiler, outdoor wood furnaces. Boyd's hardwood gun stocks, better with Boyd's. And by Stealth Cam, the leader in trail cam technology.
I believe that maybe I've been far luckier in the deer woods than maybe I deserve. But believe it or not, I've never taken a deer with a firearm, not for any specific reason, just that we always bow hunted. Growing up, that's just how we hunted, what we did, and I love it. But part of growing as a hunter is stepping outside of your box. So this year, my goal was to take a deer with a gun. And you'll have to stay with us here. This episode moves fast. We have a lot of season to cover and one legendary deer. I've prepared for a lot of hunts over my life, but pretty unique for me was to be lining up a muzzleloader. I've guided and filmed several muzzleloader hunts, and the accuracy of modern day muzzleloaders never ceases to amaze me on how far their abilities have came. In Saskatchewan, most of our muzzleloader seasons start in October, and now lined up and ready, the season was here, and I was headed in. It's October 4th, 2022, first day for me. I had a string of taking some pretty nice bucks the last couple of years. I usually take a deer every second or third year, but the last 3 years I've gotten pretty lucky. Last year I took a tremendous buck. So this year I kind of took a back seat, and September we got Taylor and Magnus and Rochelle all tagged out on a really nice deer, and Steve's got a couple deer to go after. He's getting after them. I kind of took last pick, and nobody picked my favorite buck. So there's a buck in here. He's an old deer, and he probably grew his best rack in 2019. What a pleasure it's been to watch this deer over the years, and also a frustration, having very few opportunities to actually witness the deer in person, and only picking his antlers once while out with the kids for a day of shed hunting. 2020 was the first year we'd filmed the deer, though it was a late encounter while packing up getting ready to head out. He'd gone down somewhat since 2019, but still a pleasure to finally have eyes on the deer. 2021, the buck regressed again somewhat, and again just one late brief encounter all season with a very nervous buck in the wind. Though we never really put a proper amount of time into trying to get an encounter with the deer, he'd been very hard to pin down, and now this year in 2022, I wanted to dig in and put a proper season into trying to catch up with this old buck. After some summer prep, returning to check the stealth cam, the buck was still alive. We followed him all summer, and though he'd regressed again now to a 9-point, he was excessively heavy and still nothing short of an awesome old buck. He's an awesome deer with big mass, and he's an old buck. There's quite a bit of season left. I got about a week, and I got to head up to camp and start getting things ready for clients. Then I'll have another week to come back home and hunt before our clients come up north. And once clients come up north, then hunting down home here, it gets a little bit trickier. So here's hoping something works out, and if it doesn't, that's all right too. At least we're out, and I'm sure we're gonna see some deer. A very slow first day, but it didn't bother me in the least. I was where I like to be most and enjoying every minute of it. Though little did I know this slow night might set the tone for my season.
This segment has been brought to you by Darton Archery. In the archery business for over 70 years, Darton is the world's leader in archery technology and innovation. To experience unmatched shootability, versatility, and reliability, visit your local dealer to shoot the new Darton. Canadian Whitetail is also brought to you by Pro Expedition Scents and Lures, because it works. Tacticam, share your hunt. OnX Hunt, know where you stand. Hawk, hunt from above or attack from the ground. Conquest Archery Accessories, and by AAE, quality and dependability in all our products. This segment of Canadian Whitetail has been brought to you by Boyd's Hardwood Gun Stocks, the world's largest manufacturer of aftermarket hardwood and laminate stocks. Boyd's offers stocks for over 1,200 firearm models, so you can make every gun better with Boyd's.
I'm just back in and settled for day 2, and the last time I got to sit here a couple days ago, it was a pretty slow night, but I checked the trail camera, he's been coming through just after last light, but I think that's just because of all the activity in the area. I think he'll straighten out any night now, so. Surprisingly, day 2 was even slower, but for day 3, I had a secret weapon. Celebrity cameraman night.
Celebrity, yep.
But as that would turn out, bringing in the ringer cameraman didn't seem to affect a very oddly slow stand. Finally, some bucks were moving with this incredible up-and-comer, but we sure weren't seeing the deer we felt we should be. Something definitely seemed off. Between camp preparation and days to hunt, time was ticking by quickly, and deer sightings at a stand weren't improving, but I was dug in and committed to this buck. Well, it's around for early season, and October 31st, head out with the kids, do some trick-or-treating, and it looks like I'll be getting the big red Santa suit ready for late season, so be a little bit more limited for time running between here and camp, but it's going to get better real soon as the season's back open. The closing of early season found the colors of October vacate to make room for the wind, snow, and cold temperatures of November and clients up at camp. Already 2 weeks into hunting with clients at camp, it also found me trade in the muzzleloader for a 308 finished in a gorgeous Boyd stock for the days I'd be able to hunt the remaining 2 weeks of the season. Well, it's November 15th. The last time we got to hunt was October 31st. We had about a 15-day break. The early season closes on the 31st down south here, and it reopens for rifle season on the 15th. Now it's snowy, it's chilly, and conditions kind of straightened out. We've been running some muscle meal through here. The does have been coming through, and that buck's been kind of traveling through here. He's been making good daylight appearances, cruising for does, so at least we have a shot. I was up at camp yesterday. We got 2 deer, so that kind of took a little bit of the load off guides, so I was able to run down here. I don't know how many hunting days I'll get in the next 2 weeks for the late season, but hopefully get a few. Maybe we'll get lucky, and if we don't, we don't. But get my heated bodysuit on, we'll get hunkered in here and see how we make out.
With the season opening November 1st up north at our camps, it gives us a head start with clients before the season opens down south on November 15th for me to hunt, and we were optimistic after the stand having a break that things would turn around. But seeing just one lone spiker on the first day made us wonder.
Well, we thought things would pick up yesterday, and it definitely wasn't the case. It was nice out. We thought it was going to get better, but it was probably the slowest sit yet. We came in today, and there's a buck right there. We should have been watching. That little buck snuck in on us, and he was kind of cruising for does. He's a little bit nervous in the wind, but we had checked the trail camera today, and even at night, early in the morning, it's been dead slow.
Finally, a day with deer moving early. Leave it to me to put a stop to it by spooking the buck by talking when we should have been hunting. And when this doe arrives and begins watching intently to the southeast, we watch as well, wondering what might emerge. But from the direction comes just a forkhorn and a doe, the last deer we would see for the evening. Today, after a slow start, finally this evening, an encounter with a gorgeous buck that I've been hoping to see up close all season. A non-typical with heaps of potential, just a gorgeous deer to watch. Nights like these, getting to watch deer like this just do what they do and push does around in the rut can sure make for an enjoyable sit.
This segment of Canadian Whitetail is brought to you by OnX Hunt, the most trusted GPS mapping app. Download the OnX Hunt app today. Know where you stand with OnX Hunt. This segment has been brought to you by the Raculator, the world's best electronic scoring device. Score any antlered or horned game and even sheds fast, easy, and accurate with the Raculator. Get yours today at raculator.com.
We got back to Northwinds today. We were able to slip in here and see what we make out.
Depending on our client's luck, if I'm not tagged out, spending most of the week up at camp and then a day or two at home to hunt is usually the rhythm for late season, but the stand remains slow, with this being the only deer of the day.
We got about 30 hours left in the season. We got this afternoon and then tomorrow. And it's over, but it's minus 30 today right now. So we're going to keep the talking to a minimum because it's chilly. So getting all zipped up in the heated bodysuit and kind of be our savior for the next 2 days because I think it's supposed to be even colder tomorrow, but we'll see. Whatever happens will happen.
Early movement today, a good sign, when this fairly deformed spike makes an appearance. Followed shortly by a couple of does, and this 4x4 also with one deformed antler pedicle. Finally, good movement all day when some deer look back and I spot a mature buck coming out of the bottom. At first, all I can tell is that it's the best deer that I've seen all season and start to get ready. After getting a better look, it was definitely not the deer we were here for, but a gorgeous mature buck and a welcome sight after a slow season. While getting to enjoy this buck posture and push does around, little did I know the real treat was yet to come. As evening wore on, I looked to the southeast, and there was really a sight to behold. An ancient old buck that we'd followed for years and years and seen on very few occasions. His rack a mere fraction of what it once was. The deer had been the king of the area, and while now old and blind in one eye, he was still massive-bodied, and he still looked to have the attention and the dominance over the other deer in the area. I can honestly say getting to see this deer tonight completely made my entire season.
Welcome to this week's Canadian Whitetail Scouting segment. Locate, learn, set up, hunt. Brought to you by Muddy Outdoors.
Confidence and comfort are a couple of key items that comes to landing big deer. We've talked about it a lot in the past, whether it's where you hunt, how you hunt, the chair you sit in your blind, or warm clothing to make sure you stay on stand longer, because on stand is where you land big deer, and that extends to your gun as well. I have a Boyd stock on each gun I own, from coyote rifles to shotguns, rifles, and muzzleloaders, and it's not just because they're pretty. That's part of it. There's not an easier way to spruce up a new gun or to make an old gun new again than by putting a Boyd stock on it, but there's improved function as well. I am built like a Neanderthal, long body, long arms, and short legs. And when I order a Boyd stock for my guns, I can order one of several styles of stocks. I can custom order the length of pole, the recoil pad, and configure it how it suits me best. And for a gun that I might be sharing with family, I can get one of their adjustable models. While this may not directly be a deer hunting tip, anything that helps you be more confident or comfortable when hunting or shooting is going to improve your odds in the field.
This week's Canadian Whitetail Scouting segment has been brought to you by Muddy Outdoors. Create your own muddy moment. This segment is brought to you by AAE. Innovation and integrity is in our blood. Quality and dependability is in our products.
We're back. It's the last day, and it is very cold. I usually don't get bothered by the cold too much, but right now with the wind chill, it's minus 39, and it's minus 31 without Celsius. I don't know if it converts to an American, but it converts to downright cold. But we're in here. We got about a 6-hour sit, so we're gonna try to power through it. I'm gonna crawl into my heater bodysuit here, and that'll do the trick. Our wind is not the best today, but it's what we got for the last day, so get the ozonics rocking and get sitting here for an evening of hopefully big bucks. And if not, that'll be a wrap for the year.
A blizzardy, brutally cold winter day, fitting for the last day I had to hunt, and this lone doe was the first deer to make an appearance. Without very high expectations, the doe starts watching again to the southeast. I watch with her. And as the cameraman starts to pan over, I can already see what he cannot. I know exactly what deer is coming. An entire season after I started without an encounter or even a glimpse, on my very last day, coming for the doe, there he was, headed our way. The doe trots to our right, and instead of following her in front, almost knowingly, he curves behind the blind. An almost fitting encounter with the old buck. We sit the rest of the evening out in the cold, but I already know it's over. And we get one more look at the young non-typical, now a little more battered and broken up from the rut, and oddly, I felt like I could relate.
Well, I guess that is a wrap for 2022, and I don't know if we could have a better ending. It's a pretty cool deer. It's a pretty cold night, so we're not going to talk a lot. I got to get packed up and get out of here yet, but for a deer of that age to get an encounter like that and not get a shot, it's almost fitting for that buck, and it might be the best ending possible. Not saying I wouldn't like to take the buck, but I don't know. At his age, it's hard to say if they're going to survive another winter, these temperatures. But I do know that we're going to have a lot of enjoyment seeing if he survives, seeing if he makes the winter, and seeing what he does next year. Maybe even more enjoyment than if I had got him tonight. But in any event, the deer got to win some too, so we'll see you next year.
This segment is brought to you by Wild Edge, makers of the ultimate climbing system, the Step Ladder. Safely design your climb in any tree with the most versatile, lightweight, and compact climbing system, the Step Ladder. To book your own dream hunt in northern Saskatchewan, contact us at Canadian Whitetail Outfitters. Canadian Whitetail is also brought to you by these fine sponsors. Stay up to date with Dean and the team by following us on Instagram, liking us on Facebook, and subscribing to our YouTube channel. For Canadian Whitetail gear and apparel, information, and newsletters, visit CanadianWhitetailTV.com. For past episodes and never-seen content, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel or search for us wherever you stream.